So first, we just started talking about the TGL golf. By tomorrow, is it? Do they call it tomorrow, or is it just TMRW? I assume they call it tomorrow. Tomorrow Sports, but Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy's venture with the TG Golf League kicked off in Florida last week at the, is it SoFi Center?
Yeah, it's in Florida, isn't it?
Yeah, at the SoFi Center. So, however big the screen was, I'm going to say 200 foot screen, probably bigger.
No,
Is it?
no, I don't think it's that big.
Really?
Look pretty big
It
to me.
looked fairly big. Scramble in the background and have a look. But what I was most
60
impressed,
feet.
60 feet, is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, what I was most impressed with was the putting green, the movable putting green with the plates underneath. Absolutely phenomenal. The technology that they've put into it, it's taken golf like, yeah. I don't know what other sport has had that level of a technological jump.
And the fact that it's different, so different to live as well, I think is really important. They needed a differential because they couldn't, live just kind of did another tour, which, it had this differential in the sense that it was being played on other courses and obviously the money that was involved. But the team aspect never really worked. I don't think anyway.
I didn't buy into it personally.
And I think
leave it. Yeah.
I think that's something that TGL have taken on as well. There is a team element to it, isn't there?
Yeah.
But I think there's enough, like I say, there's enough differential for it to be considered not just a live competitor,
Yeah, what's interesting about the teams and the locations is that they're obviously from different clubs and regions. However, it's all being played in Florida, so it's not like you're playing in your home arena. But that probably is a progression of it, right? That they have these stadiums, like they've got the outdoor stadium size that they could do it in, but they don't have the setup like they've done specifically for this one. So maybe that is the progression of it. That if this is the pilot, then it's in one location. But it's been sold out crowds, and the atmosphere in the arena has seemed to be really good. They're getting big name celebrities in there, and yeah, it's just really good vibe.
Yeah, it's just the next modern twist on golf. Golf hasn't really changed in the hundreds of years it's been played. We've seen it in other sports like cricket, probably the biggest example of where they've gone from the 5-day format to a 20-over format to keep people's attention. This is golf's attempt at that. I think they're taking all the bad bits that people don't enjoy about golf. It's too long. There's shot clock. Like the people take ages to their shots, and it's a bit boring. They've got DJs in. They've got shot clocks. The technology is really, really advanced, and they're trying to make golf as watchable as possible, which is, it's only a good thing for the sport. Obviously, as a big golfer, I quite enjoy it. There's going to be purists that absolutely hate it. And people that hate golf are always going to hate golf. They're not really going to get into it because Tiger Woods is sitting into a screen. I think I was reading today, it's not just golf they're looking at this venture, they're looking at other sports, how they can adapt this process to that. But yeah, it's something new. It's a chance to see these guys in a situation you would never ever have an opportunity to do before. So yeah, all for
it. I'm getting hung up on the name tomorrow. So what? That's Tiger, McIlroy, Rory, Woods, is it?
Yeah, I think it's more about it's a venture catalyst, and they've just stuck Tiger and Rory in front of it as the faces.
Yeah.
But there's a live guy involved as well, I think. So there's people. The opening show there was American football club owners, team owners. So they had every big name from sports in there. But even though you talk about live, like they're talking about bringing live players onto the teams now. This could be the first mixture we see, which would be pretty cool. But yeah, the general premise is, I don't know if you've ever been to a golf simulator before, but they have the big screen that you hit your long distance shots into. Obviously on a whole other scale, like a normal screen is like 10 foot big, and you're in a little box. This is 60 feet high, and they're hitting as if they were hitting into a fairway miles away.
Yeah.
So everything from 50 yards and in is then done around this this green, this like super technologically advanced green. They can move all the contours, they move the pin, they can spin it round, they're attacking it from different directions. And essentially they can make a brand new hole every single time. So they're still playing like a course per se, but it's just very customized.
That's cool.
And then depending on where they're hitting from, they have different like turf. So they'll have fairway in the facility, it'll be grass. They'll have sand, they'll have long grass, just trying to make it as course-like as possible. So yeah, honestly, it's really cool. I think once people start to buy into the teams and maybe you see Tiger and Rory play, there'll be a bit more eyes on it. But for a first week, it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I have played a golf simulator before, but I always select the auto putting option.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But that's always been the blocker, is like the putting and the chipping, having good on it. But like with how great the TrackMans are and the newer products like it, the long shots are so accurate that they're happy just to go, right, we'll do them on a screen, and then you can chip and putt around an actual green and have it in the building.
Yeah, that's cool.
The YouTube side hasn't really got to it yet. Like once those influencers start, like I've seen a few of them start making their videos around it. I think that will bring a whole other set of eyes as well.
I haven't seen this moving green. I can't really imagine it.
It's huge. I'll see if I can send you a video, but essentially imagine like a full size, like 70-foot wide green. There's a couple of bunkers on some side, and they've got some contours that can move.
Yeah.
And at the end of each hole, they'll either rotate the green or they'll rotate a tee box. So you're attacking a new green every single time. So it's essentially a new hole to them.
How on earth are they doing that?
Yeah, this must be some serious. I've seen it happen in like smaller putting greens, like the commercial ones where they're not that big, but they can move the ground to practice a right to left or a left to right or whatever. Just doing that on a much larger scale.
I'll flash a picture up of the plates underneath.
Yeah, so there's like these 3 plates underneath, right?
Yeah.
And I guess they can move them up and down. Is that and like?
Well, I think there's 3 plates, but then within that, there's even more discs as well for the undulation. It's fascinating.
That is amazing.
Yeah, that's why I said I think it's the biggest shift in technology that any sport has done. There's format changes in other sport, but in terms of a technological leap, this is just out there.
Like other sports have only really changed. Like they've just
review system.
They just like made it more intense. Whereas golf have had to come up with something slightly different, so that it's not over such a big. You want a concentrated energy, I suppose, to kind of create that slightly different atmosphere, and I guess that this is their solve for that. Yeah,
it's a stadium feel to golf. You don't get that a lot. Only some courses really facilitate it, where they dip down and there's people coming up outside. It's just a whole new approach to it. I think I mentioned TrackMan as like they're the forefront of it, but it's run by Full Swing, who are like a different competitor. The tech is just so advanced now.
I've seen Top Tracer's logo around as well. Are they like heavily involved?
I don't know how the two overlap. Obviously, Top Tracer's been going for donkey's years.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they've been sort of brought in as a sponsor or some software providers. I think it'd be really interesting to see how it develops. Like how do the teams get fans? Because, like you mentioned, they're not playing out of locations. You're just like, oh, I really like Tiger Woods, so I'm probably going to support his team.
Yeah, exactly. And what does supporting them mean as well?
Yeah, I don't know.
Some merch, I guess.
Yeah, merch, yeah.
It'll probably cost a lot of money.
Like I said, there's no home and away fixtures, right? So that's usually what comes with the support. It's like you're travelling with your home base and making it a bit of a fortress, but yeah, you definitely don't have that element yet. Like maybe that is a progression, like I said. Yeah, that's not there yet.
It's really hard to achieve, isn't it? Like part of what makes team sports so interesting is the partisan nature of it, and you are just never going. I just don't see how you recreate that.
Yeah, it's like local representation. That's why it was really nice. It was really nice for all of the London Man United fans to be able to get a home fixture last weekend.
I think that's us segueing off.
No, I'm not segueing there yet. We won't go there yet. We will. I've got a lot of rounds in the chamber to defend myself and Arsenal.
Who would you want to play for if you could be in one of these teams?
Boston. I support all New England sports, unfortunately, and that will segue very nicely into New England Patriots. However, New England Patriots, Boston Celtics, Bruins, and Red Sox. Although I don't really follow baseball, but yeah, just for the alignment. What about you guys?
I think if you look at the rosters, like the LA team has like the most likable. They've got Morikawa, Thagala, Justin Rose, and Fleetwood. Like two English, two Brits on one team would be pretty cool. But yeah, there's some really big names in here. But I imagine you start sprinkling in a few live golfers and it'll get quite tasty. Imagine you just put a whole live team in to compete.
Yeah, I mean that would be relatively interesting, right? Like I say, if you're looking for something partisan, then that is an avenue.
And they've already got existing teams, haven't they? So you could just invite a couple of them, the top performers for this season, say, right, you guys can come play in the TGL, and then there's a bit of a PGA versus live aspect.
Yeah, that feels like it has a little bit of potential.
And it's a whole it's a whole experience. Like you can go to the centre and like use the facilities, and they've got like all of the bays and things, and obviously all of the shot tracking's all set up, and so experientially, I think it's great as a fan experience. But obviously, just Florida based. But if you're a golf fanatic, it's the kind of thing you'd do. Like that's a great golfing destination is Florida anyway. So why wouldn't you do like bolt on something like that or make it specific to that?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's really taken off from the YouTube side. If you look at the views, it's got 500,000 in 5 days, which is about the same as the normal PGA Tour highlights. Whereas your golf YouTube personalities are getting 500, 600, 700,000. Seeing a video here from 6 days ago, 1.7 million. Grant Horvath getting a video with Tiger. Grant Horvath did like a lesson with Tiger Woods, and it just goes crazy.
He's just done one with Rory as well.
The crossover is mental at the moment.
Yeah, it's the Tailor-Made Alliance, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So it was their big launch last week or over the weekend for TGL, late last week?
Wednesday was the first day, yeah.
Okay. And the only viral golf video I've seen in that time is the fan hitting a hole-in-one over Bryson's house.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I think that probably tells you a little bit about how it's gone so far. Like they need those moments, don't they, so that they can clip them up, get them out to people, and then the views will come after that. But
yeah, I guess they could have led with like a Rory versus Tiger game, but then you're only going down from there, whereas they'll build up to that, I anticipate, in terms of views and virality. That's where the clips will come from. Yeah,
it's like longest drive stats and stuff where you've got it all virtually. I feel like there's so much more in terms of stats and competition that you can bolt onto it. But yeah, like I said, just the pilot, and it was just the first week, so can only probably hopefully get better from there.